Okay, hi everyone. I'm Yael from Simply, the creator of Simply Piano, Simply Guitar, Simply Sing, and Simply Draw, helping millions of people express themselves and learn music and creativity. I am happy to see you all. Today we will talk about UA trends, how the market is changing, about AI, channels, and what drives performance and growth in 2025. But first, let's meet our great panelists. Joseph, you can start.
Hey everyone, I'm Joseph from Personally. We're a programmatic DSP based here in Israel. I've been at Personally for 8 years, working on the machine learning side, product side. Before that, I worked in the toolbar industry. I'm sorry. I keep saying that every year and it gets the same laugh. But yeah, excited about the panel.
Thank you. So I'm Dima. I'm from Ovivo. I joined Ovivo about 3 years ago. We are both publisher of games and we have our own studio. We have kind of an unstandard approach towards publishing, something that's very unique for us and separates us from other publishers that we're not looking for a hit it big from the get-go and looking for draconic KPIs, but we're looking for studios that have a good product, that have good games, and we're willing to put an effort and invest a lot of time with them to build a scalable business and generate profits along the way. So it will be shared equally and fairly, so everybody wins.
Hello everyone, my name is Parth Kotnala. I come from a pure affiliate marketing background where I have been doing affiliate marketing for last 10 years and it's been focused mostly on user acquisition on App Store and Play Store, where we have been helping clients across the globe and in all the major verticals, fintech, crypto, e-commerce, gambling, betting, everything. So it's purely affiliate for me, where casual gaming and hyper casual is something which we are venturing into but are not right now, but casino and gambling is something where we can have some insights to give.
Hi, Emmanuel, Z2A Digital. It's my first panel, so please be gentle. We're a mobile app agency focusing on user acquisition. We have our own technology. I've been myself for 5 years in the industry. You can say I have the privilege to work with non-gaming and gaming brands, which helps our experience.
Thank you very much. Okay, so let's start broad. The landscape keeps changing very fast. Joseph, what is the major change you see over the last year?
As a DSP, we're used to partners only considering working with programmatic after they feel like they exhausted social completely or all the closed gardens, and then only consider DSPs and other channels. We're seeing diversification become the norm in the approach for most teams because of a necessity. CPIs are going crazy everywhere. You need to find different ways to reach your users effectively. Not necessarily at a lower CPI, but you need to broaden your reach. So we're seeing more and more of our partners considering programmatic from day one, from their start, when they're started in their activities, when they're planning the next year. And I think overall for the industry, it's good because over time, even though it's still a very centralized, I mean, you have a few big players that are competing like very aggressively with one another, having other challenges that build similar solutions is always good. More competition is better, so I think it's a good change.
Thank you, interesting. Pat?
So yes, I was having a discussion with Dima right now. We were just discussing about that only, like what are the changes we have been seeing, and with my clients as well, few of the clients who are into casual and non-gaming gaming segment. So the CPI is one thing where they are seeing like specifically competition in the puzzle and the strategy kind of a game where they are seeing higher CPIs, right? And it's either, as we were discussing, so either they are cutting down on products or if they are having multiple apps or the CPI is so high that they have to cut down on the budgets or the ROI is going down for them. So it's more like shrinking for them in terms of product offerings in the Play Store or App Store.
Yeah, so to add to that, a different kind of view, or to add to that view, is I'm seeing that privacy is a big thing this year, something that affected all the advertisers, all the partners. One effect of that is seeing less data. They don't have full visibility, they don't have full view on what they're doing, what they're delivering. So we see this kind of open-mindedness happening due to that, where they're willing to try out new networks, new channels. The big channels are not providing the solution they need anymore. And I think that kind of also made the agencies and the programmatic channels adapt a different kind of approach, where they understand that the more accurate data that you can provide, the better solution, the better answer you can give your partners, your advertisers. If you're, for example, an agency that has its own tech, its own platform, you can connect and gather all the right insights from all the platforms and present that in the right way to your advertiser. That's what's gonna probably move you ahead. That's what's gonna give you the edge. And again, that's exactly what they're missing now. It's not about getting all the data. They kind of understood that's impossible or harder these days with advanced privacy, but it's getting all the right data and having it in one place.
Indeed, a big pain point. Joseph, what used to work in the UA that doesn't anymore, and what replaced it?
Wait, I fixed it. I'm a product guy, it's not like a big deal. It creeps up back on us every few years. If you go back to the beginning of UA, it was all incentivized. After everyone was like talking about CPI, getting the lowest CPI. Some people are still in that mindset that maybe if they optimize towards lower CPI, they can get some free lunch. And no, there are no free lunches, that you know the saying. And that applies to this day. I mean, obviously everyone's more used to seeing higher CPIs because that's what you're seeing on the platforms. But every now and then we'll get a partner trying to force us to optimize towards the wrong goal. And if you do that, you're going to have a bad time.
So earlier the approach used to be very long-term, right? Where you are focusing more on the top funnel and you are focusing more on installs, bringing installs and working more on the top funnel. And now as the break-even is far from achieved. So where now the cycle from CPI to CPA, it has to be coming early for every client, because end of the day they will be losing out on money. So they have to make it quick on their end. The ROI cycle needs to be in a short duration for every client to come up with that break-even part.
Yeah. Okay, so yeah, we talked about, you mentioned the optimization. Dima, do you tend to optimize toward top of the funnel or more further down, and how change as the product matures?
Sure. So it really depends on three key parameters. First of all, obviously, the more in-depth the game is or the product is, the more further down the funnel you should go. If the product is very simple and you can monetize it and break even in like a week or two, there's no need to go really deep inside it. If it takes you 1 year to monetize, so obviously you have to understand what's causing the users to be retained, what causes the users to be more valuable for you, and to optimize more down the funnel. The other two main factors is the scale. The more scale you have, the more further down the funnel you have to collect data. And how mature the project is. If the project is relatively new and you just want to collect the initial data and understand if there's some potential or not, there's no need to dwell into every detail that you can think of from the get-go. It's better to see what you can do right now and go from there. So it really depends on these three.
Thank you. Pat, do you have something to add?
Not in this one.
Okay, so we must talk about AI, of course, nowadays. So AI really transforming the way we manage campaigns from creative to bidding. Perth, how the user acquisition manager job changed?
So yes, AI is bringing, it's more of the talk of the town. It's no more like a talk of the town anymore. Everyone is into it and everyone is using it on day-to-day basis. It could be as easy as drafting your mail, but again, coming to management and account management and operationally, where we are seeing like everything is getting automated in terms of bidding and in terms of campaign setup. No, you don't have to do that manual tasks anymore, that you have to create multiple campaigns at the asset level also. Right, so now it's more of a strategic kind of a job where you have to see the data points and you have to look into the data, whatever the AI is and the data you are collecting on your end, on your CRM, and then to see those data point and strategically decide your approach in terms of campaign creation, what kind of automation you can do within your campaigns. So it's more like strategic now rather than manual efforts and less exhausting for account manager and more mentally exhausting now, I will say.
Thank you, Manuel.
Yes, I think everyone's always speaking about how AI is going to replace everyone or going to replace all of us one day. So I think it's not really that. I'd say the best way that AI affected the industry and the account manager work and the user acquisition is the way it integrated. It's about the balance, how much you add it in your day-to-day task and remove all the specific work and all the extra work, as Paul said, whether it's bidding, whether it's all this kind of automated tasks that can be replaced by AI, but then you still need that human factor. You still need that edge and that person that knows how to use the tool a bit better and knows how to integrate it a bit better. I'll give it as an example to creatives. In the past, it was a very annoying job, constantly creating new creatives, and now it's as easy as one click, one prompt to create dozens of creatives, in dozens of languages, but still, you still need that human touch, because if you have a French creative that you translated to a German creative, it doesn't mean that it's gonna affect the audience in the same way. You need that human, that cultural context to understand how to adapt that creative, and AI is still not there. It can do it. Don't know if it ever will be, but that's why I still think it's the right balance, and having that human touch in it, that's the best combo, and that's the change that we're seeing in kind of account manager and user acquisition managers approach.
Thank you. So you need to be more sophisticated. You need to be a better thinker. Now let's zoom in on what's driving performance. Dima, can you share one underrated or emerging channel that works well for you recently?
Yeah, sure. So as my colleagues already mentioned, the CPIs are going crazy high for the past 2 years, maybe even more. So it's starting to be much more challenging to acquire users from the regular platform, so to speak. So the one challenge that kind of emerged lately is everything that's related to incentivized traffic. People touched upon it, that UA started kind of from it to incentivize users, to engage users with more reward that they are getting from. It's much more challenging and not a standard approach for everybody that's not really familiar with it. And data is not really the same data. You have to analyze it, you have to look into it. The churn is not really the churn. It's much more complex. But once you crack it, there are a lot of hidden gems there that you can find. And market forces forcing everybody to go there because they don't have any other choice. They can either adapt or die. So incentivized traffic is something that caught up for last year and a half, I think. So something like this. And it's growing. We have a lot of partners that started basically from nothing, and now they're kings of the world. So, yeah.
Very impressive. Thank you. Perth?
So for my part of world where I come from, so for us it has been lately, it's mostly community-based groups on, it could be Telegram or influencer marketing that is doing good for us, where we have seen good results with gaming clients specifically. It could be a Telegram channel, or it could be a platform where all the Gen Z audiences, they have created their own segment, own community, and its community-led efforts are more doing good in terms of as an emerging channel for us. We are focusing admins where they have access to such kind of communities. We can't say it offline exactly, but yeah, it's kind of doing good, bringing good results, because they are somewhat having inclination and higher intent in terms of gaming. So that is doing good for us.
Interesting. You also mentioned in our previous call one channel in the Android field in the Play Store.
Yes, exactly. That is app discovery ads where we are seeing like not specific to gaming. It could be for gaming and non-gaming, where we are seeing high intent user in terms of where you are targeting user at the right moment when they are searching for some specific product within their phone. So it could be SDK partner who is integrated at the SDK level, and they know what kind of activity user has been doing in the mobile and what kind of apps he already has within the handset. And if any user is going on your Google or within any app also, if they are searching anything, so they can target and they can show ads in the real time with similar sort of products, what other products and what other apps you can go for with respect to what they have been searching. So that is something which is bringing good results in terms of performance, in terms of better LTV, in terms of better ROI for the client and CPAs as well.
Interesting. Thank you. Joseph, from your experience, how does UA differ between gaming and non-gaming apps?
Yeah, so this connects to the AI part as well. Eventually, when you're running machine learning algorithms to do this targeting, it needs to classify users according to their preferences. Eventually, when you guys use Spotify or Netflix, it translates your preferences into some vector, and when you have vectors, you can find distances. So technically, it compares between what you're consuming as a user on the platform versus what other people are consuming, and it's matching what others like you saw and you didn't. That's why it works so well. That's basically what we're trying to do with user acquisition as well. So when it comes to gaming, there's a lot of signal because there's a lot of free mobile games. So it's pretty easy to understand this person likes Match 3 recently, or he likes some more niche things. The point was very poignant, so it worked well. So you get a lot of signal like that. It can be very nuanced. You can understand this time series analysis of the user, and you can use really the latest things you can do in machine learning in order to really tell the model, this is what you need to show this guy right now, he's going to pay. In non-gaming, it's much harder because we're not Google. We don't have this luxury of the user telling us, I need a loan, or I need some fintech product, or I want to buy groceries. We need to find that implicitly, not explicitly. So this makes exploration for truly incremental user acquisition for non-gaming more challenging. Obviously, if there's a strong brand behind it, it helps because the users already know what it is, and there's like a general exposure that always helps. This is why some of our partners look at it more of like a brand performance thing, which is a weird word, but it exists. And that's the main challenge. So if you're coming from non-gaming, working on programmatic on any platform that needs to learn, I would try to be more patient. Obviously, it's difficult when you're spending money, but both sides are interested in making the learning curve faster. So just be patient.
Just breathe.
Yeah.
And with the automation and an AI-driven bidding, how do you differ yourselves from competitors?
That's still me. Yeah, I'm sorry. So the key is feeding the algorithms correctly. One part of the job that sucks, but is very important, is data integrity. This is for the platform that we're building. Each platform is like that. We heard stories from bigger platforms when an event was incorrectly labeled as a purchase, things break. So when you're doing this integration, regardless of who it is, you need to make sure that who you're doing the integration with knows that you're labeling things correctly. Otherwise, again, you're going to have a bad time. So doing that, making sure the setup is like perfect in that regard, sets you up for success and lets the platform do its magic. Other than that, you just need to iterate fast. It gives you more time to work on creative, try and stand out, and do things like that.
Thank you. Let's talk about what success looks like today. Dima, how do you define success? On which metrics you are looking at?
Sure. So we're not looking for something really unusual. I think that success for everybody is making money. That's the point of every business. And for every online project, whether it's game or not, that's the bottom line. So we're looking at all the same metrics, LTV, KPIs, like CPI, retention, stuff like that. That's not new to anybody. The true success comes with scale. We spoke about AI and the barriers that it broke, that it's much, much easier to create some small project and to generate some money and something on the side is going to run. I know some friends that do it and they're very well. But I cannot consider it really success at this day and age. True success comes with scale. If you can't really compete with the big ones and bring your project to the world, so to speak, it's not really successful. If you can make it and make it sustainable for you and run for a long time, that's something that everybody's looked for, and that's how I think that success is really easy.
Thank you. Emmanuel?
Yeah, to add to that, I think eventually it's just 4 categories that we measure success by. First is the quality, where you want to know you're bringing good users with high value that are actually engaging with the game. It's about the profitability, as we said. You want to earn back whatever you spend. You want to make your time worth your effort. It's about the scalability. It's not just growing. It's growing and maintaining the results that you already delivered. It's showing that you can be big and you can still deliver the quality. And the hardest part, I think, it's the stability. It's keeping it that way. I think becoming the best is one thing. Remaining the best is another thing. So that's something, especially in our industry that's constantly changing, it's very difficult. So those would be my insights on that. It's not the short KPIs, not the short term. It's just these 4 categories.
Thanks. And Joseph?
My point that we see happening a lot coming from our partners is actually about the longer cohorts. A lot of UA managers are focused on the here and now. They have stakeholders to report to. They have their targets. But I really suggest setting up a calendar reminder at the beginning of each quarter when you already planned it, so you have a bit of time to look at what happened 2 quarters back and see if the cohorts are actually looking different than they did. Because LTV curves are different. Users are different. And especially if you have an app or a game that monetizes over time gradually, it can really change. So I would take a look at that. To add about the stability part, yeah, I mean, because again, we're relying on machine learning so much in the actual bidding, I heard a bunch of horror stories of like, suddenly my top creative is like not doing anything, or like AppLovin died, or like Facebook died. So yeah, it's like, I guess that's why we're still in EdTech after so many years. We like putting fires out. But yeah, that's the key when we're designing the platform, to try and understand and consider what's happening right now. How is it different compared to a week ago, compared to a month ago? And it's becoming better, but it's kind of the same as like GPT would hallucinate with you every now and then. You can't avoid it completely, but we feel your pain.
Thank you. Dima, how do you create single source of truth when attribution differ between platforms?
Yes, so Joseph already talked about it. The data is the key. Garbage in, garbage out. There's no way around it. And we found that it's better to decide early on whether you want to see the true data or you want to see the relevant data. So each and every one of us has to decide for himself. For us, relevance is more important. So we kind of found a middle ground, and what we did in order to organize everybody around it, we found like kind of one source of truth. We developed our state-of-the-art kind of ecosystem, and from which we gather all the data from all the data sources, from MMPs, from Firebase, from App Store. Everything is being thrown to this platform and aggregated by the same parameters. They are not 100% correct, never, but they are good enough for us to make actionable decisions, and that every part of the company looks at the same data. The main problem that we used to have about a year and a half ago, product team was looking at the data and say, all right, we have 1,000 users. UA team was looking at the data, we have 2,000 users. What's going on? And nobody could really cooperate and do something actionable about it. So after a lot of filtering and a lot of work, with some help of AI and a great team of ours, That's the way that we found out that really works best for us. Once we did it and everybody started to look at the same data and speak the same language, and it was on time, then when we started basically to crack it.
Oh, very important. Thank you. Joseph, if you think 2 years ahead, what kind of UA innovation will change how we are managing campaigns?
It's just going to continue to be faster and optimizing in a pace that we would feel intuitive for us, I think. I mean, the example I give also when I train people in our team is that the best experience that you can get, for me at least when it comes to recommendations, is inside Spotify when it suggests music to me that I never heard. I have very weird niche tastes. And it becomes my favorites. Like weird super groups from Seattle or free people you didn't hear about, they become like my favorite band. And this is only coming from this matching that constantly improves. So I think with ads, we're going to see similar experiences. I think the feedback from users is going to become more positive over time. I mean, yes, CTR is like 90% on it, Plavin right now, things are weird, but eventually all of these systems are designed to match between what users actually like, because that's where value is coming from. So it's just going to happen faster, and it's going to match better.
Thank you. Okay, so let's close with one piece of advice from each one of you. Emmanuel, let's start with you.
So yeah, as we said, with AI advancing and everything moving so fast, I think eventually what's gonna happen is the playing field's gonna become a bit leveled. Everyone are gonna use the same tools, so that's where we come in, the human touch, where you have to be more creative, more innovative, and most importantly, adaptive. So I think those are the ones that eventually gonna make it through the long run.
So yes, as he said, I will add to it, like, you, in the world of AIs, try to be the human you want to be, so that, right, you have that human touch when you are talking to a client, or when you are operating operationally at account manager level, you are setting up campaigns. So always keep that analytical thinking alive within yourself. Don't be too much dependent. Use it to some extent, but don't be completely dependent on any AI. Eventually, there will be, it is improving. The AI which we used to see 2 or 3 years back and the AI we see now, it has been penetrating deeply into our daily ecosystem. But again, technology makes us lethargic. So don't be lethargic with any AI.
We believe in humans.
Yes.
Thank you, Dima.
So for us, the way I see it is the shortest feedback loop wins every time. You have to test a lot, and everybody kind of learned to do it. But for many people, it takes way too long to understand what are the results of their tests. So if you can create and replicate the shortest feedback loop possible, you're set for success.
Amazing.
Become robots, okay. Embrace the machine. But to some extent, really do. I mean, you should cooperate with the platforms. You should make sure you get time with people who understand how the platforms you're working on are working. Try to get time with product people like myself, or anyone else that can tell you what are the real best practices other than the checklist they have in front of them. It's critical for success in such a competitive and tiring market that shifts all the time. So stay in touch with them, make sure nothing changed, make sure nothing is breaking. I think it's really good to have this cadence of like a once per month understanding, is everything okay on your side, or should we be doing something else?
So communication is critical for success.
And becoming a robot.
And becoming a robot, of course. Thank you for the great insights, and thank you everyone for joining us. Do we have...